Let me just put that out in case for you to know. So I'll tell you how they will line up in the UEFA quarterfinals in April. But last night, for those who were watching the game between Atletico and Real, I know you've got so many questions to ask. How come the Polish referee, disallowed or annoyed or cancelled, whatever English now, the penalty from Julian Alvarez? Okay. Maybe when we come in the afternoon, we'll try and break it down because this is covered in 15. So I'll just give the headlines and talk a few, and then we'll go. But when we come in the afternoon, it's reloaded. So we'll talk more about it and help us make meaning for those who probably been arguing about, I wanted to show geography and what is it? No, it's not. It's not. Football have got this rule, and so we'll have to just follow it. All right, so I'll come to the Champions League much later. But yesterday, for Amaju Pinnick, it wasn't the best for him. Someone to say this morning to him, good morning, sir. I don't know how you feel, but Amaju Pinnick was not re-elected into FIFA Council. He lost his election yesterday to Djibouti's Sulaiman Wabiri, 28-29. It was a close contest. Amaju said he traveled to 30 countries to campaign, and he was hoping or believing or assured of getting 40 votes. But my friend got 28 votes, and that number wasn't good enough for him to get back into the FIFA executive position. So, not the best for Amaju Pinnick. He spoke about thanking a few folks and how it all began for him 26 years ago as a volunteer with FIFA when Nigeria was set on the 20 World Cup. I know that Ibadan also had a feel of that World Cup that year at the Obafemi Awolowo Stadium, known then as Liberty Stadium. So Amaju Pinnick has done his best, and so he's out of the FIFA Council. Let's quickly go to Cairo and take a listen to the president of CAF, who was re-elected yesterday. I'm talking about Dr. Patrice Motsepe, speaking yesterday. And then when we come back, I'll talk to the FIFA Champions League, who is there in London. Andy Bowell is there in London. We'll talk about Indian Wales and Formula One as we look forward to Formula One season. But take a listen first to Dr. Patrice Motsepe.
And as I said, the achievements over the last few years was because of all of us. And I'm immensely grateful. Thanks, Senghor. Thanks, Waberi. Thanks to all the vice presidents. When we had a meeting on Monday, some of the staff and some of the EXCO, some of the member associations said, President, please don't call us at 2 o'clock in the morning because there's something that you are worried about in our member association. So I promise that I think I'll call you at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Thank you so much, because this is about Africa, this is about the people of this continent, and it has been a huge privilege for me to get exposed to each and every one of you, because you represent the very best of the continent and the very best of the world. And thank you once more, Gianni and Matt.
All right, so Gianni Infantino too was there yesterday in Cairo to witness all that happened. And so, Patrick Motsepe, over to you again for another time in the office. All right, so let's talk UEFA Champions. That's all went down yesterday. For Arsenal Football Club, you can't go away from home and beat somebody 7-1 and expect you to lose 8-0 and not qualify. No, that's going to be hard. Those who put their money on that kind of bet, I don't know what you're thinking. But yeah, they're 2-2, bottom line. And I also saw Raheem Sterling, who has had a bad sitting so far for Arsenal, winning the man of the match yesterday. Well, good for him. He said he's still got plenty inside of him. I don't know how much he's got. But 2-2 ended, and so the Gunners, they move on. But earlier in the day, the first game saw Borussia Dortmund. They went to the north of France, Lille. They won by 2-1. After the first leg ended 1-1 at the Signal Iduna Park, the Germans went to France and they won by 2-1. And of course, Aston Villa with a big lead from the game against Club Brugge, where they won by 3-1. Back in Villa Park in the city of Birmingham, they won by 3-0. And of course, Marcos Asensio, who is on loan from Paris Saint-Germain, will now face his employers. Yes, because Paris Saint-Germain still own him one way or the other. So he will be playing against Paris Saint-Germain in the quarterfinal. And for Paris Saint-Germain, you know what they're doing. You know what Luis Enrique has been saying. This is just the beginning. Okay, we'll wait to see. And so PSG will play against Aston Villa. That will be April the 9th. But before that, Barca will play against Borussia Dortmund. Same day, same time, 8 p.m. Like I mentioned the other time, that the time will change once we hit the month of April. But we'll first see the quarterfinal first on the 8th of April, with Arsenal in London playing against Real Madrid, and Bayern, who will be the host for this year's final, on the 31st of May, we'll play against Inter Milan. I think for me, that should be the game. Like Blessing was saying yesterday morning, it has got to be Bayern against Inter as the biggest game of the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League. So, Salam, let's go to London. Andy Boyle is standing by, is waiting for us. Let's not keep him waiting. Let him give us his beats. And when we come back, we'll talk Indian Wales and Formula One.
BBC Premier League update from the home of Premier League football.
Hello, I'm Andy Barwell at the BBC Sports Centre. The Premier League sides Arsenal and Aston Villa both made it safely through to the quarter-finals of the UEFA Champions League. Arsenal drew 2-2 on the night with the Dutch team PSV Eindhoven. Mikel Arteta's side progressed 9-3 over the two matches. Alistair Bruce-Ball reports.
There was never any danger that Arsenal's place in the quarter-finals was going to be threatened. Mikel Arteta was able to rest some of his key players. He even named 4 left-backs in the starting lineup, bringing another one on in Riccardo Calafiori in the second half. He also watched Raheem Sterling enjoy a good night in an Arsenal shirt too. Assists for both of the goals, the early screamer from Alexander Zinchenko and a dribble to beat 2 men to cross to Declan Rice for the second. PSV pegged them back each time. Ivan Perisic in the first half, Kuheb Driush with a delightful chip to make it 2-2. They were superbly supported by fans as well, who'd had their match tickets paid for by the club for this leg after the 7-1 drubbing they took in the first game. That was where the damage was done, and Arsenal are duly through to the quarter-finals for the second season running, trying to win this competition for the first time in the club's history.
And it's Real Madrid next for Arsenal. Carlo Ancelotti's side got past their city rivals Atletico by taking a penalty shootout 4-2. Aston Villa will face Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League quarter-finals. Villa defeated Club Brugge 3-0 on the night. 2 goals from Marco Asensio. It was 6-1 on aggregate to Villa. In Thursday's action, the second-tier European competition, the Europa League, sees Manchester United level at 1-1 going into the return leg of their last 16 clash at home to Spain's Real Sociedad. Spurs have to overturn a 1-0 deficit in their match at home to the Dutch team AZ Alkmaar. And in the UEFA Conference League, Chelsea hold a 2-1 lead for their second leg game against FC Copenhagen at Stamford Bridge. For more football news from the BBC, go to bbc.com/football.
BBC Premier League update from the home of Premier League football.
All right, thank you so much, Andy Boyle, for that. Yesterday also, just picking some of the things that happened back home. The President's Federations Cup draws were held. And so, round of 64, so many names. 3SC will play against Zamfara United, that's it. Just for you to know. And the other teams, quite much. 64. Oh, wow. All right, so let's move on quickly. Yet from Andy Boyle, Villa and Arsenal in the quarter-final of this year's UEFA Champions League. Good for 2 English teams. You can't find Liverpool, you can't find Manchester City, right? Okay, so let's move on and talk some tennis this morning and give the results from Indian Wales. How it all went down yesterday. British lucky loser Sona Cartel saw a memorable Indian Wales run ended by world number 1 Arina Sabalenka. Cartel, 23, was beaten 6-1, 6-2 in just over an hour. As Sabalenka ruthlessly moved into the quarterfinal, the scoreline did not do Cartel's effort justice, but it did illustrate the quality and power of 3-time major champion Sabalenka ball striking. All right, so there you have it in terms of what happened. And still staying with the world of tennis, because one lady who gave birth to her baby girl, she's back playing tennis and she's winning. Former Olympic champion Belinda Bencic continued her sensational form since returning from maternity leave by beating Coco Gauff to reach the quarterfinals. Bencic, who gave birth to her daughter Bella last April, battled hard to win 3-6, 3-6-4 against American third seed Coco Gauff. The 28-year-old Swiss player said becoming a mother has given her a new perspective on her career and allowing her to play with more freedom. Okay, this is what motherhood brings to her. Okay, let's jump away and talk some Formula One this morning. We're counting down to the Formula One season starting in the next few days, and Max Verstappen, will he join Mercedes-Benz? Toto Wolff is saying that no, that's not going to happen now. There's no possibility of him joining them anytime soon. But for now, Mercedes have given their statement. And let me just take that quickly before we go on the show this morning. Mercedes Formula One boss Toto Wolff says the pitch to sign Max Verstappen for 2026 is not on any radar. George Russell's Mercedes contract runs out at the end of the season. And Wolff had talks with Verstappen last year before opting for Italian 18-year-old rookie Andrea Kimi Antonelli as a replacement for Lewis Hamilton, who has moved to Ferrari. Wolff said in their run-up to this weekend season opening Australian Grand Prix, we need to concentrate on our driver lineup. I don't flex if I am in a good relationship. I think I like that. So Baba wants to stay faithful. He wants to stay committed. Not jumping from one driver to another driver. He wants to main focus. We'll see you guys again for 3:30. That's the much we can bring you this morning on Scoreboard in 15. I am Peter. My one will come in the afternoon, 3:30, myself and Sammy's. Hopefully we will talk more about the UEFA Champions League. INT'L went down last night. The controversy around the game between Atletico Madrid and Real. We will talk about it and, of course, bring you more perspective from the world of sports. Coming up, Baba Vendor will be here. The men will be here this morning. So we're going to have 2 men come take Baba Vendor this morning. Just allow one of the ladies to rest after the old women day thing. You're right here in our studios on Wednesday night. So P2 and Krista will be here in a couple of minutes to bring you Baba Vendor. That will be for 1 hour, 30 minutes. The analysts also will join them. And of course, you also have a chance to call in into the studio. Before I go this morning, let me also say, have you been playing Coco Box? If you haven't been playing, what are you doing? Let me just make it short and brief. All you need to do is just get 200 now, put it in there, and you stand a chance to win 10,000. And that draw will be going down later today twice. 2 p.m. on Call and Win with Sumbo. And then 5 to 6 when Krista will be here for a game. So if you don't win by 2, come on, don't give up. Because you can get to win that money from 5 to 6. But how do you go about it? Just get 200 now. But before you do that, ensure you dial *347*253#. Just follow the prompts. That you can do on any network with any phone. Abi? And then you just follow the prompts. Play as much as you can. And you stand a chance to win 10,000. Guys, I'm out of here. See you in the afternoon from 3:30.